So this is the same project that I was showing in the dashboard view. It's a semi-realistic Node.js service that I've actually scattered with a bunch of things that developers actually leave behind. So there's a token left here, and I've added in comments that I've actually seen before where people are saying, remove this before the commit. In the analytics file, there's an AWS key right here, right, a to-do of move this SonarQube token into the env file before the next deploy. Right, this happens, developers do this, even agents can either forget to clean stuff up or have some hard-coded things in the repo itself. But what we have here is the SonarQube CLI. One of the most important functions that we can achieve is the Sonar Analyze Secrets. So what that does is in the entire code base, it's able to detect any hard-coded credentials and secrets. So in the env file, in the config.js, db, I had planted 5 different secrets and it was able to detect all of them. It happens in less than a second. And that's because the CLI ships a standalone secrets binary. And this engine runs locally. So none of your source code actually leaves the machine. Your secrets are totally safe, right? So how does this stay accurate? We have 3 main layers. One is that we follow kind of general provider patterns, right? Like GitHub paths start with like a GHP prefix. AWS keys have their own prefix, and they have, I think it's 40 base 64 characters after that. And so we have our own pre-filter and pattern detection for all of that. Another one is Shannon entropy, right? Real secrets are very random, which is part of what keeps them secure. But things like placeholders and UUIDs and hashes, they have an entropy level that comes in below 4.2, which is our threshold, and then those get filtered out, which is good because you don't want to detect those if they're not actual secrets or credentials. And then we also have a placeholder filter, right? So that we can catch obvious fakes and dummy secrets, detect stuff like character repetition and certain patterns. But we also have an automatic test filter, right? So files that are clearly tests, mocks, or spec files will be skipped by default. So all that to say is that we have a less than 0.5% false positive rate and a 100% true positive rate. And this is all in the open source repo, so I encourage you to check that out and run it yourself. Right, but what good is a scanner if you have to remember to run it, right? No one's going to do that every time, which is why we wire it into Git itself. So it's already installed at this pre-commit hook location, right? And there's just one command that you need to set this up. It's sonar integrate git. So it detects any existing setups that you have, like your pre-commit framework and any hooks, and it integrates in there without stopping on anything that's already there. So if I just git add everything in this workspace, and then I add a message, bad secrets commit, it detects all of the secrets that were in that commit and blocks that commit from happening, right? So it catches it before it reaches the repo, before review, before CI, which is really, really important. And we also have hooks, and this matters in the agentic era, that fire before an agent reads the file and the secret leaks in the prompt context, right? So the same engine that runs in the pre-commit hook runs in the agent loop itself. So we have 2 main paths in from there. One is from the CLI directly. We have a command, sonar integrate cloud, and that writes 3 hooks plus the MCP server config. Or from inside Cloud itself, there's the SonarQube plugin that we have, and you can just run /plugin and find it in the official Anthropic marketplace and install that. And we have a variety of different commands. One is this sonar integrate skill that you can invoke, and that just runs the sonar integrate cloud for you under the hood, and it ends up with the same state with the hooks and the MCP. But we can tell it to do something like read db.js. and it'll actually block that from even happening. So you don't have to worry about any of your confidential information being leaked to the LLM and leaking into any of the context or anything like that. Right, so this is just the start of what the CLI does. Secrets detection is a major capability, but we also have code analysis, agentic verification, and a lot more coming.